Hi there, and welcome to this week's episode of Queer and D, where a bunch of us just get together, roll dice, and play Dungeons and Dragons for a few hours on a Saturday evening. I am your DM, which stands for Dabble Manager this week, and I'll be taking you and the players through this week's session. Alrighty then, so jumping back in to it was now session 9. We're almost at session 10, which is crazy.
9 already.
Yep. So last game you finally managed to get to interrogate Pierce, the halfling male servant of Lady Asta. He informed you that he'd went upstairs to clear the glasses, turn off the lights and such, or the candles, now that the elder people who had attended the party had left, and he found Ovid just lying there dead on the ground. You had done a quick investigation outside and found 2 pathways went off into the wooded area behind the house, and both Leaf and River went off to investigate. River hit a dead end and couldn't find what way the road went, but Leaf, you did find a bare footprint on the wall that was kind of mud, like a dirt footprint on the white wall, and you all decided eventually to jump over the wall and see where it took you. You eventually headed off to Xanthia's, who was able to identify the powder for you as being saltpeter with some blue dye mixed in, and by a random stroke of luck she had a bag that kind of matched the blue colour that was in the blue powder and sent you off towards Flame, which is a clothing shop over the other side of town. The owner inside revealed that he had indeed sold blue dye to a woman and managed to get an address for in a certain part of town, but he only knew the area of the town. But he did get it delivered via the common room, which is the general store over that kind of side of town. On the way to Flame though, River was very bored after not really being able to steal anything from anyone, and her roguishness wasn't up to par that day, so she decided to put a metal crown on the top of someone's head, not tell anyone who it was that had it on, and just leave it there. And it was eventually discovered when you entered the Singing Dragon for the evening, which just so happened to have 3 bands playing on rotation: Lady Gogoliath, Mithrilback and Polymorph, and you all spent the evening dancing away and drinking. The next morning everybody kind of appeared downstairs for breakfast except for Leaf, who was still upstairs passed out after having too much alcohol, and River got up and headed off towards her lesson with Pandora. So that's where we're going to pick up.
Yay.
So, River, heading off towards Pandora's. Takes you a good 20 minutes to half an hour to walk round there, but it is a nice sunny day. There's no rain or anything like that you had the previous day, which is a nice change of scenery for you. You head up to the door and you knock on the door, and despite how early it is open. Push your way in, and at the counter you see Mets, who is sitting there reading a book and peers up and looks at you as you come in.
Hello. Hi.
You're not there, Leaf.
Oh, sorry.
It's just River who's here just now, ready for her lesson.
Hi, I'm here for my lesson.
Oh yeah, you're the one. Did you bring it with you?
Yeah.
You pull the wand out of your pocket. She's in back. Take it with you.
It must have just fallen in. I didn't. Yeah.
I'm sure that's the case.
Yep.
She lifts up the kind of partition and says, just follow that round into the back room. On the right hand side you'll see a doorway. It's probably open, just head in. She goes back to reading her book. Their book.
Should I bring this or leave it or?
We'll take it with you. Make them in handy.
Okay.
Just
so I do.
Okay. Yeah. Heading through, you do see a kind of storage area which has like some large boxes and some large items. You do see like kind of some large shields and swords and things like that, but they don't seem to have like made their way out into the main store area or anything like that as of yet. You'd see there's a little bit of light coming out from the room that you were directed to, and there's a kind of sound of humming, as if Pandora is sitting humming to herself as she works.
So I knock lightly. Hello?
Comes up to the door, pulls off these big massive goggles on her face, pulls them up to her head. Oh, River.
Hi.
Here for your lesson?
What?
Here for your lesson?
Yes.
Okay then, come on in. Kind of like pulls the goggles off completely from her head and goes back over towards the kind of workbench where she's got like kind of two stools set up. Directs you
I walk
towards
over
one of them.
and I just set it down and I say, I'm really sorry. I don't normally take things and not give them back. Unless it's a necessity. I just feel the need to really be able to protect myself with magic, and that got the best of me, and I apologize.
I suppose it's a good thing you're here then.
Yeah.
So what are you interested in with magic apart from just protecting yourself? Like, have you tried magic before?
I mean, I've attempted things, but nothing seems to work. I feel like I've read some books, and I feel like I'm starting to understand it, and where it comes from and how it works, but I haven't unlocked how to use it myself.
Okay. Well, we'll try a few things, and we'll see if anything kind of sticks for you.
Okay.
So she goes over and she like pulls out a few things just out of a cupboard, and see kind of what she's working on there on the kind of workbench area. She's got like a big massive hammer, like a war hammer style thing, just on the workbench just now. And she goes over, pulls out a book. Looks quite old and, well, not really old, but it looks well used, and it's tied together with a string of leather. Brings it over with her and grabs a few like candles and things like that just to brighten up the room a little bit. Okay, so let's try a few things here. See if anything kind of sticks. So what she's going to do is she puts her hand into her pocket. Let me just bring this up here real quick actually. Make sure I've got everything right. I've not done this ever. Where are we? I really need to like mark all these. Two seconds. There we go. Okay. She goes into a little pouch at her side and pulls out a little bit of what looks like moss. Kind of rubs it together in her hands and lets it go, and out comes a little kind of glowing thing on her hand, and then she touches it over towards a piece of metal that's on the side, and from that you do see there's instant light in the room. It's not too bright, but it's emanating from the metal that she touched.
Yeah. So you used a component to produce that.
I did, yeah. You also kind of heard like a little bit of kind of muttering from her at the same time as she was doing it all. So yeah, I use components. This one here's just some phosphorescent moss because it kind of glows, and I use that just to do what's called a little cantrip, a little light cantrip.
Huh.
Do you want to have a shot?
Yes.
She reaches back in, pulls out a little bit of moss.
Okay. So just go ahead and try it.
Roll an Arcana check.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, where's it go?
That's a 6.
Yeah, you kind of rub the moss together in your hands, and then you kind of let it go up a little bit, but all you see is little tiny bits of moss like floating around in the air.
Maybe it's some bad moss.
No, I don't think it's quite the right fit. Tell you what, do you want to try it again but use the wand in the other hand as well?
Okay.
Okay, and she gives you a little bit more moss to try it again. Roll another Arcana check.
No. 19.
You try it again and you really focus this time while you're doing it. Throw the moss up a little bit. Look at your hand, but there's still nothing there. She kind of looks at you.
Maybe it's broken.
No, I can tell that it's almost working, but something's not quite right. Kind of stands up, heads out to the door, leaves you in the room a little second by yourself.
Look around.
You see, it's quite not dark in there, but there's just so much stuff that's kind of crammed into the room that it's almost like towering over you. There's like cupboards and shelves everywhere, and the shelves are just like completely full with like potion bottles. There's like some crystal balls and things like that just everywhere, and on every single surface in the room, every single surface is completely wiped clean. So everything in the room itself is very clean, just there's a lot of stuff in the room itself. Comes back in, this time with mates. Okay, let's try this again. So Pandora goes over, lifts a book off of one of the shelves, and tears it and rips the front cover off. Here, mates, you show River this. You see mates sigh, hand into a pouch by their side, and they pull out what looks as though it's like a set of tools. Unravels them all, pulls out a needle and some thread, goes over to the book, puts the book on its side, and kind of sews over the top of it, looks at it, and it looks as though the book has never been ripped into. Mates looks at you. What tools do you have?
Well, I have thieves' tools, because, yep. And,
So surprising.
and I have, I think, Tinker's tools. Wait, what do I have?
What's the rest of the party doing?
They're all just at breakfast just now, waiting on you.
We're not eating breakfast.
Well,
Okay.
we'll get to the rest of the party in a second.
And yeah, that's
Okay.
what I have.
Take out your thieves' tools. You see, like, mates, like, he's just like looking at you like this, kind of like, wonder if this is going to work. Okay. Goes and pulls over a candle and sits it in front of you. See if you can use those tools to light the candle. Or you use the tools to help you light the candle.
So still roll Arcana, or am I using my Thieves tool, or my...
Roll
What am I-
one Arcana check for this one again, just to see if you're able to do anything.
It's obviously above 20.
That one. This is so entertaining.
Is a natural at 20 for 20.
Nice. Well, the good news here is that I made the DC for this one a lot lower. So you
But
look
also-
at it, and you've got your thieves' tools, and you're concentrating. So what kind of thing are you trying to do here to light the candle?
I am going to picture a like a tinder, like a small flame,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to picture it just growing and getting bigger.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my thieves tools as I'm doing it to kind of like, I'm just going to like rub them like this and just like pray.
Okay. Okay, so you've got thieves'
Religion
tools
check.
in one hand. You have a religious symbol, don't you? A holy symbol?
I
What
have
you do?
my...
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're holding onto the thieves' tools, you get a candle in front of you, eyes closed, and you instinctually reach towards your symbol of Thana, and you grab onto it. Open your eyes up, and there is a flame on the candle.
You're unstoppable!
Pandora looks at you impressed. I see we've found your fit. If you learn a little bit more about this and practice, I think you would make a pretty good magic user.
Yay! So I can make a flame.
So just the beginning of it. Just the beginning of it. So
Cool.
while all this has been happening, the rest of you have been downstairs at breakfast. Mika, Torin, and Tex having a nice, lovely home-cooked breakfast with all the good, like, fatty breakfast foods like bacon, sausages. You've got like home fries. You've got hash browns. There's beans and toast. Just a big, massive spread of food in front of you.
Yeah.
Almost towards the end of your breakfast, and you look up, and Leaf comes downstairs, cloak over their head down, trying to block out any light.
Man, how doing?
Good morning. What time is it?
How many times her little hair of the dog?
Yeah. Don't tell me we've got loads more adventuring today.
Sleep good? How you doing?
Oh, I slept like a baby. It was great, but no, I just rough. I'm rough. But whoa,
Here,
there's
I
some
mean,
decent food here.
does that affect your hit points at all?
I hope not. I'm gonna walk in and I'm gonna just like, instead of getting a plate, I'm gonna be quite disgusting and just start like picking things off, like, and just eating it right into my mouth. Who cares at this point? No etiquette. And then I'm just gonna plump down in a chair and then just lean back and just like with like a sausage as a cigar, just like proper chilling. Okay. The smell of food makes everything better. I'll be refreshed soon because as an elf, I don't have to sleep. And I'm she will flips her hair.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a piece of bread and I'm gonna put bacon on it, and then I'm gonna put another piece of bread and I'm gonna hand it across the table. I'm gonna say, "There's actually scientific research that the best cure for hangover is a bacon sandwich."
Oh, okay. Cool.
That is real. Also,
Do we not have any rules?
oh, just eat it.
Okay. So no one can beat a bacon rule. But anyway, I gladly accept.
While you're
That
scarfing
was
the bacon sandwich down, the tavern door slams open, and you see a guard there.
You're letting all the heat out. What are you doing?
Comes
Shut the damn
over,
door.
comes over to you, and hands over a scroll to whoever wants to take it.
Take it.
Your presence has been requested.
Ooh.
Alright, so I
On
open
the
it up.
scroll,
Who's done what?
it is from Chief Guardsman Tamal, requesting your presence at the barracks to discuss the case
Wait, to
at your
mum?
earliest convenience.
Who's mum?
Tamal.
No, Tamal.
Oh, Tamal. I was like, who's mum? Who's mum?
My mom.
Oh, Tamal. Okay. It's an early start, everyone. It's an early start.
Please, some of us have dead mothers. D&D. Some of us were hatched. You never know.
Where are we heading?
Well, so question for the table.
Mm-hmm.
Is the guard... We're supposed to have... Question for the DM. Is the guard tower, whatever the hell we're going, is that on the... is the common room on the way to that?
No. It's the opposite direction, so where you are just now is you're in Newtown. The barracks themselves, where you've been requested, they are up in Old Town, near the castle.
And the common room is not that
Is-
far from where we are, though, right?
No, it's across the water, so it's like maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes walk.
Okay. All right. So here's my question. We will probably have more information to give Tamal if we go find out who delivered the die and where they delivered it to, rather than go there and then have to go all the way back to this side of town. I think we should run over to the common room first, find out where they delivered the die to, see what info that gets us, and then go talk to Tamal. Because otherwise we're just going to be running all around town like idiots all day. Which is on brand, but also...
I think that makes sense because I think that was our next order of business was to go to the common room. So
Right. And River was going to meet us over there, right? After.
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and since we haven't picked up an arcane way to communicate with River yet, let's work on that. Yeah. Let's work on that.
Yeah.
Let's work on something. But anyway, so we should go grab River, and
Let's take the common room.
head over that way first. What do you think?
What say you?
Aye. Let's go.
Okay, so you finish your
Are
breakfast.
you gonna walk, or do you want a Bjorn?
You know what? I might walk this one.
Oh,
You're always very sleepy.
I mean, I've only just woken up. Give me a few hours, then I'll be ready for a nap.
Because okay. Yeah. All right.
to the common room.
To the common room and go then.
Okay.
Let's go.
Between 30 minutes in the sun, it's nice and glorious. There's some birds chirping overhead, and as you're walking through the streets, there is still the coloured kind of banners going across the rooftops, going in the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple pattern. continuing itself over and over again.
Is it
As
Pride
you-
Month?
Yeah,
Nice.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but this town is really gay.
It is. Yeah, I mean, what are the chances that we picked a really gay place to visit?
I'm pretty happy about it. I don't know about you, but I mean,
But
anyway.
maybe we should just stop this quest and just stay here and
I
make our
mean,
own hotel.
you know, this town seems to have a lot of possibilities.
It does, but focus.
Sorry.
I mean, we could have a baby Bjorn shop.
I thought you were just going to say we could have a baby. I was like, whoa.
Oh,
It's a
no.
little early for that yet.
Very,
open
very.
a bespoke Bjorn shop.
Yeah. Oh, you're really and the Bjorn section. Yeah, I know.
So
They're very nice.
You're all walking. You eventually find your way to the bridge that connects the two areas of the city, as it's cut in half by the sea. And you make your way over to the common room. Outside of the common room, River's already waiting there for you.
What
Hello,
are you?
stranger.
Are you a wizard today? Are you a wizard now?
No.
Oh,
Check this out. A little fire. So, yeah.
I feel like, you've got still a long way to go to be as good as me. And
judgment. You're on your way, River.
I just truly aspire to be just like you, Leaf. Truly.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Well, should we head in and see what's what?
Let's do this.
Let's do this thing. Oh, by the way, we got a summons to Chief Tamal to go update him. To update him on where we're at with the case, but we figured coming here before we go see him makes more sense.
I
Yeah.
thought he said he had some info for us.
No, he wants our information.
Oh.
They suck. That's why they hired us.
No wonder I was shocked.
Yeah. Anyway,
Cheers, you know,
anywho,
we need to clean the scales.
your scales are lovely.
Oh, thank you.
Like, focus, everyone, focus. You can have an orgy later if that's really what you want.
I mean,
I can't help.
alright.
I'm just walking to the store. I'm just walking to the store.
So leaving Leaf behind, shouting in the streets about orgies. You walk into the common room.
I'm not with them.
We are in the common room.
Inside the
We're just
common room.
here. We're just here.
It's so common.
It's so common.
The common room. Yeah, I know, it's very boring.
I wave over to the shopkeep, whose name I have utterly forgotten.
Kyron.
Good morning. We're doing a bit of work for the guard.
Alright.
The big firefight is
That put him on alert.
Well, I'm not gonna lie about what we're doing. Did you sell various dyes, or you deliver them, right?
Only one set of dies. I
Did
think.
you deliver some blue dye recently?
Give me a second. And he pulls up a book that's like got blue leather on the front of it and opens it up. Looks through. We had a delivery from Flame going out
Yeah.
about a week ago.
Do you know exactly where it got delivered to, or who delivered it?
Yeah. And he just shouts, what's the name again? He just goes to the door that leads into the back and just shouts, "Lachlan!" And he comes back out to where you all are at the counter. He'll just be a minute.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
Sure.
you see...
Can I just look around, see
okay.
if there's anything?
Yeah. Make a perception check.
Nope, I don't see shit.
Okay.
I don't even see the front of my face. It's fine.
You're just still too
blind.
excited from the fact that you've been able to produce some form of magic that you are completely distracted. And looking at your tinker's tools and trying to do it again over and over. And after waiting about a minute or so, there's like a kind of 14-year-old halfling boy who comes in. And he goes, "Yeah, Dad? Where did you take this one to?" And he points to the book. That was over in Quayside. That was the Riverwalk over in Quayside. Alright. That's where he took it. What house was it, boy?
Delivery. Yeah, who accepted your delivery?
It was... And the boy's like kind of thinking. It was behind the park that's right by the water split. It was like the third one in.
And do you know who you delivered? Do you remember what they look like?
It was a woman with her hair all wrapped up.
Young, old,
She was... Well, she wasn't old.
Pale, dark, middling.
Yeah. She was quite pale.
pale and dark.
So the she was a pale, dark, middling.
Yeah, she was quite pale.
Pale?
Looked as though she hadn't been outside in about 5 years.
Ooh.
Oh.
Color hair?
It was all wrapped up, but I think it was dark.
Did she give you a name or anything?
Did she sign any papers to accepting the delivery?
No, on the door though, it said Paris.
Said what?
Paris.
Paris?
Yeah.
Is in France?
Like the old stories of France.
Mythic land.
Very, very important question for you. Did she have shoes on?
What was that?
Did she have shoes on?
I guess I wasn't really looking at her feet.
I know.
It's a bit creepy.
Was she like tall? Was she halfling size? Was she
Very
She was
pale.
kinda-
Could be a
Average.
a-
She was
a-
well. She was
a
taller
ghost.
than me.
changeling.
She was about the size of you.
changeling? I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm not going to pass judgment, obviously.
Pale.
But super pale.
Maybe changeling.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Should we head over there?
I think we should follow this through before we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions for them? I think it's probably.
Mean.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Let's go.
Thanks for the info. Appreciate it.
I flipped the kid a silver piece and just in thanks for
Flip the kid.
Grabs it and looks at it. It's like, and he instantly smiles, like the brightest smile that you've ever kind of seen from a kid.
Oh.
Thanks! And then he just kind of runs off out of the store and into the streets.
He's gonna go spend that responsibly, and I love it.
Alright, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's head.
Let's go.
Right, so it's not a very long walk. It only takes you about 5 to 10 minutes to walk over there.
Mhm.
And you come to, get my other notes out now. You come to just a row of houses. They don't look like they're in the kind of best repair. They're all made out completely of wood. There's like no stonework or anything like that, or any plaster or anything like that you've seen over the other side of town. So what you guess from this side of town is it's kind of the not as well to do area.
Okay.
But the outside of it looks clean enough. Just the wood looks completely like sun bleached and cracked. But it's quite busy outside of the house. Well, out of this row of houses.
Alright, can I just, so there's lots of people about,
Yeah.
can I just look around, I just want to see if there's anyone who meets this,
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
mm-hmm.
Can I also start kind of peering in windows
Okay.
sneakily?
Okay.
Sneakily.
Roll a stealth check again for me, see if you can do it sneakily.
Yeah, I only rolled an 11.
An 11. You see a couple kids that are outside kind of playing with like the old Victorian like hoop with the stick kind of toys. You see some older humanoids who are all kind of like sitting on like steps, are all just kind of chatting and whatnot, watching the kids. Just looks kind of like a regular domestic street kind of scene.
Yeah, 25.
25, okay. You manage to sneak your way along under the eaves, darting in behind like the houses and things like that in the alleys. But the women across the street don't pay any notice to you, and neither do any of the children. And you manage to go up to the window that's in the front of the house, the door beside the door that says Paris on it. And you look inside, and inside you see what looks like a kind of neat kitchen area with a table with like some kind of glass jars, some like string, some various containers and things like that as well.
Don't see anyone in the house.
You don't see anyone in the house as of yet, no.
So I kind of wave everyone over.
Okay.
So I think this is the house. I don't know how you want to handle this. Like, should we just be up front? I feel like that's not a good idea, but I could be wrong.
I feel like we're getting close. I feel like at this point we're getting close, and we need to be a little more circumspect.
I don't see anyone as of right now. I can take a better look if you want. Stealth, maybe in, or see if there's an opening somewhere or something. Maybe someone can knock on the front door and cause a distraction, or
I'm kind of feeling like I kind of feel as though just, I'm just externally processing this. I kind of feel as though if we break in, we're obviously going to end up having to fight somebody, because obviously someone breaks into my house, I'm fighting. And I mean, we have no, I mean, that's going to probably cause a fight. I'm wondering if now that we know that this is the location and we've gathered the information, if we should go back and talk to
I don't know if we have enough information about it.
Is there any sign of like a keyhole on the door?
Yeah, you can go over and have a look. Make an investigation check.
We got some sneak about
Okay.
investigating.
Investigation check.
Can we help? Can we help?
That is a synthetic 20.
Okay. You go over next to the kind of doorknob, which is kind of like a leather kind of pull. You do see that there is a lock there.
I did check that one. There is a keyhole here. I could transform into an animal of some description that could fit inside this keyhole, check the perimeter, check the area inside, and then come back, and then we could proceed.
Spider it up.
Good idea.
So, what animal would fit in a keyhole? A mouse, I guess.
Spider.
A spider?
Yeah.
So what if I go in and someone hates spiders and then they squish me?
What if they hate mice and they kill you?
I hate mice.
Someone can equally hate mice.
Keyhole is
Okay.
about that size,
Like
like
mine.
I don't quite think that a mouse is going to fit in it.
Yeah,
Spider.
okay, a spider. Okay, right.
Caterpillar if you don't like it. But spiders.
Okay, so I just sort of
That's murder.
I sort of measure, I like check the sizing of the keyhole and then I go, right, okay. Then I sit on the floor cross-legged and then I sort of like just run my hands like on the earth and then I'm gonna go, and then I just start shrink and turn into this little spider.
Nice.
A little tiny little green spider, and then I like crawl up the door and like in through the keyhole, and then I'm gonna peer out of the keyhole. What do I see?
I'll show you just now if you
Oh,
have your owl there open.
I get to be.
Shite.
And that's it up
In
now.
a battle room, a battle room, battle room.
So going
Okay.
in through the door, straight in
Yeah,
front
yes,
of you.
I'm like, if anyone saw, I'd be like the little caterpillar in Fox and the Hound. That spider. You just see this little head like popping through the keyhole, like on the other side, just like observing.
Okay.
Ooh, ooh.
So you do see.
So where's the door? Which door? Like,
So
is
there's,
it this door where the opening is? Where
yeah,
are
so
we on the map?
So the open little bit is here. So I'm just going to pop you onto the map. So you're here just now, in your spider form.
Okay.
So in
Okay.
front
And
of
is
you-
anyone in the room?
There is no one in the room at the moment.
Okay. Does it look like anyone's been in the room recently?
You do see over towards the kitchen area that there is some like plates and things like that look as though it's been left over from breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just like some general kind of mess round about as well.
Okay. Is there a key on the table that I could see from there?
You wouldn't be able to see from here, you'd have to go over and have a look.
Just trying to figure out if we need to break the door down or if we need to.
You have a rogue. You have
Huh?
a rogue.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. So good. So after I peer through the keyhole, I go right. Okay, and I turn around and scuttle back down,
Okay.
and then touching the ground with my little 8 legs, I'm just gonna go whoop, and I sort of just like whoop, like appear. Hi. So, it's just a nice little cozy little room in there. Someone's had some food, but it looks empty at the moment. So now's our best chance.
Okay. I'll open it. Or first of all, let's just. Is it open? Is the door open?
You pull on the kind of leather pull that's on the door. Doesn't move.
Okay. Can I please pick the lock?
Okay, make a sleight of hand check then and see if you can pick the lock.
It's been so long.
You can do it.
And
I'm also just kind of keeping an eye, making sure no one is kind of paying attention to us.
Make a perception check.
Or let's hope it's better than the last one. Oh yeah. I have a 22 for my perception.
nice.
So you've already got your lockpick out because you've been kind of playing with it the entire way from Pandora's. And you put it in and you use the rest of your thieves' tools to try and undo the lock. But the lockpick snaps inside of the lock.
With a 9?
Looking around, ticks you do, see that some of these children have kind of turned around and started to take a little bit of notice of you.
Can I
Kids over there paying attention.
try one more time? Or is it broken?
It's
I'll
like
go
snapped.
entertain the
open.
children.
Torin heads over to entertain the children.
Okay. How are you going to entertain them?
Can I
Okay.
use my claws?
Try and make another sleight of hand check.
Listen, motherfucker.
DC for this one will be a bit higher.
Dice.
Yeah, uh-oh.
Dice jail.
That's that's an 8.
Put it in, you feel your nail, the nail kind of bit of your claw kind of scraping along, and you do feel it kind of like pushing the nail up from the nail bed. Or the claw. You kind of get the idea, maybe if you just pull it straight
Right,
back out.
seeing that River's in pain, I'm going to be like, right, and I take her little pick thing, and I'm going to try, even though I have a terrible sleight of hand, but I'm going to try.
Okay, do you have
Broken.
yeah,
Broke.
that is
Oh.
broken and can't be used again.
Okay, do you have anything else? Anyone else got anything that we could use?
Let me look.
Meanwhile, I've got kids hanging off my arm,
You're doing like
running around, blowing little smoke rings.
using them as free weights.
Yep, getting the workout. Showing them my really cool Bjorn on my back.
Now you're carrying your shit in.
You put some of them down and then you go down and do some push-ups with the one in your baby Bjorn.
He said
Can I go check the windows to see if any of them will open?
Go ahead and make an
Into work.
investigation check.
Does anyone have a pick or anything that we could use?
the
No.
things we go through when the doors are up.
This just seems unbalanced to me.
17.
No one has a hairpin.
You go over and you should kind of pull on it a little bit. It does feel a little bit loose.
So can I try to wait? Hold on.
Right,
I'm
so
not strong. I need someone with some muscle, please.
yeah, me. Seeing that you don't have one, I'm gonna be like, nah. Right, I'm gonna help you the window. Okay.
Yeah, someone come open this window.
Okay, so this will be in.
What's your strength, Leaf? I'm just curious.
This is, huh?
What's your strength?
So is it the lower number or the plus number, like plus whatever?
Either one. I'm just curious.
So I got 16 on the roll, so it becomes plus 3 for strength.
You and I have the same amount of strength.
Meanwhile, the kids have been called off by their parentals, and I am.
They have one.
I'm 5.
So
What can I do? How's things going? If people look obvious hanging around the house, I think we better get in here.
we're gonna try and get in this window. Do you want to help? Can we do it together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So you each take one side of the windows. You can either both roll an athletics check, or one of you can give advantage to the other.
I'll give advantage.
We're doing this. I'm gonna look out, make sure no one's looking.
Okay.
Yep.
I rolled a 17
Okay.
Plus 5, so
plus 5, so 17, 22.
Okay.
you control advantage.
So
though.
you each have.
I get to roll the bit so I can
Yeah.
try even more for more, but if that 22
I
does
rolled a
that,
10 for you. So
so
Okay.
yours is better. The other one.
20. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
So you've each got a kind of corner of the bottom of the window. If you're like kind of pulling on it on your side, and
Mhm.
it instantly kind of gives way as Torin just does a very slight, gentle tug of it, and the kind of locking mechanism kind of rips itself out of the wood that it's in and comes free.
Yay.
Right.
Woohoo!
Can I check for traps?
Okay. Make an investigation check.
up in the side.
20. Dirty 20.
Okay. Looking around, you do see that there's a very thin copper wire going around.
Can I take care of that?
Make a sleight of hand check to see.
Nice. Natural 19 with +7, so 26.
Wow.
Wow.
So looking at the wire, you do see that it's got a kind of origin point over towards the side. So you manage to kind of maneuver your arm in and kind of lift it off of a slight hook that's there, that's holding it taut, and the wire goes loose. So you've managed to disarm whatever this trap was very easily.
Yay.
Okay.
Gee, Evan, do you want to jump in and see if you can unlock the door, and then the rest of us can go through the door?
Yeah. So I go in,
Mhm.
Not that I don't trust our ability to stealth in.
look for traps as I walk to the door, front door. Make sure I'm being careful
Okay.
and stealthy.
Okay. Roll another investigation check then.
14 investigation +5, right? Where'd my investigation go? Yeah, +5. So 19?
19.
14 +5? Yeah, 19. Not my strong suit.
Okay.
Investigation.
So, looking around, you don't see anything in the main room, but here, as you're going over towards the door, you just see another one of the copper wires that are kind of put across the door at neck height.
Ow.
So I can either try to disarm a trap, or have you all just come through the window, which is already disarmed.
Probably best to come to the window. How will Thorin get into the window?
Yeah,
I tell everyone, look, this place is clearly trapped. Be careful, don't touch anything, let me check it first.
Oh, okay, right.
Let's
Let's
the
put
question.
Mika in first. She's the smallest.
Outside, because I really have poor dexterity and I'm rather large.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can keep an eye out, and
What if we get in trouble in there and we need your fire breath, man?
Well, at that point, right through.
At that point, just right through the door. If you hear us screaming, just bust down the door.
Can do. Can do. Brute force.
Right. Okay. So we're gonna give Mika a hoisting, like one of those footsie things
Yeah.
that you do, like.
I'll let
Here
you
we go.
Whoopsie.
Yeah. Whoop. And then River in next, and then I'll go in, and then Tix will follow behind. So we've got the strength at the back.
Since,
So
you know,
you'll head in.
I'm sensible.
You are in the kind of main like living area. You do see that there is a table off to the side which has the like kind of glass containers, the other containers that are filled with some stuff in the string. It looks very sparsely decorated, this place. It's got like just a table, chairs. The kitchen area is very well kept apart from the plate being there with the remains of breakfast. There is a fireplace, but it doesn't seem to be lit at the moment. Would anyone else like to look around the rest of the place? Okay.
Yeah.
Roll an
that's
investigation check then.
checking for traps.
What?
Roll an investigation check.
I don't.
Roll an investigation check for me.
Investigation. 11.
Okay. So looking around, you do head up towards the area where the rooms kind of seem to branch off. You look and you see like kind of a bedroom area that's got a few clothes kind of scattered in there, and like a bathroom with like a kind of toilet with a bucket underneath. Doesn't seem as though there's any more traps or anything like that. It looks as though any traps were designed to stop people from coming in, not to stop anyone when they're in there.
Alright. Can I go into the room and check like in the dresser and the bed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I help with that to give advantage?
Sure,
on
yeah.
it?
Yeah, roll another investigation check. We'll use this as an investigation check for everything that you find in the house.
Seven.
I was helping you so you can roll with advantage.
What were we investigating?
Nightstand and the bedroom and stuff.
Oh.
18.
18. Okay, that's better. So looking in the little kind of small bedroom area, you do find that there's just a couple of shirts, some tunics, some like kind of trousers, and they all seem to be kind of in blacks. But then you open up the wardrobe area, and you do find that there is like some kind of like fancy clothes, like some fancy robes, some fancy dresses, some like kind of high heels and whatnot.
Do I see any trace of the blue powder anywhere?
Not in this small room, no. But heading back out into the main living area, looking at the table, there's 2 containers as well as the glass jars. One of the containers contains like a white powder and one of them contains a blue powder. And there's like some kind of scales and things like that on that table as well.
Does anyone want to look to see if maybe there's blood or a weapon or any kind of document that might be why or which you would have killed this guy if it's her?
Yeah, I can do that. Will that be an investigation check?
Yeah, we'll do just a separate investigation for this one.
And I'll help, so advantage.
Okay, advantage. Okay, cool. So that is, I just rolled a 22 for investigation.
Perfect. So looking over on the mantelpiece of the fireplace, you do see there's a couple of envelopes over there. from Eamon Asta, asking for the person's help to contain a problem.
Lady Asta had her own air kills? Is that what we're gathering here?
Wait, who was Lady Asta again?
Lady Ilceris Asta.
Who was that? Is that the queen?
Not the queen, she's councilman Lady Ilceris Asta, so she's on the small council.
That's right, she's like close to the family or whatever.
Yeah.
How close?
So we need to pocket that.
Well, here's my question. Do we want to try? No, we don't want to break up the party. That's a stupid question. I'm not going to ask it. Never mind.
We need to take some of the dust, some of the powders off that you're looking at. We need to take.
Gonna take out like your phone, take a picture.
Do we think there's any? Are there any stairs, or is this a one-story apartment?
It's just one story.
Do we just need a jet now?
Well, is there anything that we? Oh,
The looping is getting bad.
I know.
Can I go check the bathroom to see if there's anything in there?
Yeah, you can check the bathroom. Looking in the bathroom, there just seems to be.
Is there a ring of blue around the tub?
Like a towel on the wall that's kind of hanging up that's a little bit damp. That doesn't seem to appear to be anything else in the bathroom.
Is there water in the tub?
No, it seems to be empty.
Okay. Didn't want to have some pop up all of a sudden. You know.
So you've found the blue powder, and the letter from Eamon Asta at the moment.
Is there anything that on the note does it say what her name is, or anything that gives?
In this house area, there is only the letter that's kind of addressed to her, to Paris. You do see Paris named at the very top of the letter, as well as the name on the front of the door.
Alright, but you guys just wanted to take this to the...
Why would Lady Asta have her own heir taken out?
Don't know.
Take a little break
Yeah.
here. Jumping back after breaking some snacks and fixing everything. You guys are still inside of the room. So
We're still in the room. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go out of the room.
Yeah, let's
we have
get her out
to-
the window.
So we're going out the window.
Okay, so you all kind of crawl out the window, giving Mika a little boost up there again. Make yourselves visible to Torrin, who's standing like arms crossed at the front of the door, just like keeping an eye out.
Let's
We
go.
found some things.
We found some things.
Let's go. Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's get away from here.
Let's skittery dink.
Okay,
Eating.
so are you heading towards Tamal, or are you heading to discuss?
Simone, right?
Well, wait. Let's discuss.
Let's discuss as we walk.
Let's walk and talk.
Okay, walking and
Because
talking.
we have a long way to get all the way over to the guards tower anyway. So we have a
Yeah.
long walk and talk.
Okay.
Or at least potentially. Okay, so if that letter was from Lady Asta, that means that she had her own friggin' like nephew taken out. And Tamal is working this at her behest. So I mean, if we go to him and we're like, hey, by the way, it's your boss. Is that like, do we really think that that this isn't gonna just get covered up? Like,
Do you want to just go to the queen?
well, I mean, I don't know who to fucking go to at this point because this is not like just some like this is some deep political intrigue, and I feel like we are just gonna like get laughed out of or put ourselves in a shit ton of danger.
How do we not know that he's also in on, like, are aware of it? And they're really shitty
We
investigators.
definitely have to go. So are you saying we should lie? Because some of us are not good at that.
That's
It's true.
one, right?
It's true. Some of us aren't. Some of us are pretty decent at it. Some of us aren't. But
You know, I kept wanting to talk to the Queen, and he wouldn't let me. It was like she was so unavailable.
yeah, I don't know.
I suspect everyone.
I mean, I always suspect everyone. I don't trust rich people as far as I can throw them. Like, dude,
Should we do a vote? Should we vote on what we should do?
Hold on. What if we give her the
does anyone
information?
have other thoughts, ideas,
Yes.
anything?
So what if we give him the information?
Mm-hmm.
Look, I mean, really look at that insight. Really look and see what's going on with him how he reacts to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go from there. Whether we need, because here's the thing, we don't know if we can trust him, so we need to find out who we can trust. And we're not going to do that unless we start to trust somebody, because otherwise we're just going to be doing circles.
Right.
Two,
Valid.
whether he's in on it or not, hopefully we'll get some information about it, and then we can go from there. And if we figure out that we can't trust him, then maybe we go and start doing some of our own investigation and give that to who we figure out we can trust.
Mm.
Makes sense.
If it freaks him out, if it gets him scared,
Here's a counter. Following up on what you are saying about how we have to trust somebody.
Mm-hmm.
We chose to trust your contact who hired us to do this.
yeah, but they don't know they're involved right now, and they can't do anything right now.
But they know, but I'm willing to bet that the underground folks have always, the leaders of the crime syndicates always have their finger on the pulse of the politics. They have to.
Finger on the pulse. Anyway,
I'm just, like, maybe they might know why Lady Asta is, I don't know. I'm just, we
they
already
hired
chose
us
to
to
trust
find that
them,
out.
so
That's
maybe
the thing.
continuing
Right?
to trust them instead of trying to trust someone new. I don't know. I just feel
It's not even like
Also
trusting.
very sketchy.
I say we give him the information and see where that leads us. Like if it freaks him out and we're like looking for some really paying attention on his little eyebrows, it might lead us somewhere.
that's valid.
Somewhere. We could use him as
Yeah,
bait.
let's just go for it. I mean, I think trying to go into the, like...
But is that going to put us on the dead skis list?
You know, then
We're
we'll take that battle on
investigating.
the
We're not- I say we go and not implying. Don't imply that we think that. We're just say this is what we found.
Mm.
What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good way
Well,
to
because we start with a little bit of half information. Like, so we discovered that, someone ordered this dye and it was delivered. And then
This woman
let's
named
see.
Paris.
Right? And then, kind of get a perception on how he responds, whatever that he may say. And then give a little, we don't have to unload all of our information at once, is what I'm saying.
Right, exactly. Give him a little bit, see where it goes, see what happens.
We keep the Lady Asta bomb for the last.
Yep. Does that work for everybody?
Cool. Who amongst us feels insightful?
That's what I'm looking for.
I feel like they're studying micro expressions in their spare time.
I wouldn't say, it's a 3-ish.
What? I'm like one step better than you. This is about metagaming. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, let me check my... investigation. Insight. My wisdom +2.
We already got you beat.
Leaf, what is yours?
Well,
Insight.
Insight.
insight is +1 for insight.
Okay. What about you, Mika?
I'm +3.
I have the Lord.
Here's the other thing.
Yeah, I don't feel good
If you
about
guys can hold his attention, I can also kind of stealthily look around and see if there's anything. Just kind of do that thing where you like eyeball the side and see his papers and see what they say.
Well, and also he called us. Maybe he has something to tell us too.
Exactly.
Like we definitely let him talk
I
first.
think in order to move forward, I think our best bet is definitely to have a conversation with this man.
You're
Personally.
right. I mean, we're already headed that direction. I will confess, I get a little bit nervous around people in. I just assume everyone in power is corrupt. That
Oh, I don't trust anyone. So we're good there.
So I don't like to end up on the wrong end of a guardsman's sword. That's all.
I'll light his ass on
Which
fire.
is completely sensible.
Okay. But yeah, I think you're right. I think we just have to go for it. So. Yep.
Yeah.
Just knock him in the balls. It's fine. Let's go.
So you finish
Or
up
just
your
breathe fire on
chat.
him before he even knows what hit him, and we'll be fine.
You finish up your chat and you have a couple more minutes walk and finish up just in time before you actually reach the barracks. You head in and some of the guards kind of wave you in and point you towards a stationary building. It's off by itself. It's very small. It's more like a kind of hutted area. You go over there and you walk in, and Guardsman Tamal is sitting in there reading over some papers in front of him. You do see it's kind of like a corner desk that is facing towards the door. And he's just sitting there. Ah, come in, come in. Been waiting for you.
Ooh.
Took us a while. Some of us had a little bit of a night last night, so we didn't get the earliest start we've ever gotten.
Okay. Celebrating a bit too early. Let's see. He pulls out a letter and hands it over to you. This came in this morning. Some more information on the blue powder. Hands you over a letter that's came in an envelope. Pull it out and it describes a very similar occurrence that happened in Cerithia a few months back, where a powerful kind of banker was found dead in his office, which was covered in blue powder as well, and with the nickname of the Smoke Blade. And it's got a very brief description of the chief suspect in that, which is a pale woman with long dark hair who appeared to be dressed in finery.
I think we're dealing with an assassin.
That you are.
Yep.
So,
It would appear so.
what was that?
He says it would appear so.
We have followed a lead that led us to an abode of a woman or someone that they call Paris. Fits the same description.
Okay.
We found blue powder in her house. We can give you the address.
Please do.
It doesn't look, it's lived in, but it doesn't look like it's somebody who lives there a lot. So definitely someone who could move very quickly and easily. It was trapped, so they're definitely prepared for something. So
At least you'll want people sneaking in.
So we definitely think that this is the person that we're looking for.
Okay.
Can I roll an insight check to how they reacted to that, please?
Go ahead. Yep, roll an insight check.
With advantage, because I'm helping. Can I give her advantage? Can I give him advantage?
Yep, roll it with
Is that a
advantage.
yes? Please say
Yep.
that was. Please say that was a yes. I'm just gonna put that dice over there.
Giving
Because
him
whatever. Oh, fuck.
What is it with
Well,
Dice Shield
yeah.
tonight?
12. Which is better than the natural one I rolled the first time.
Okay.
For sure. Anyway,
What did you roll?
12.
12? Okay.
Ooh.
Can you see him like sit back a little bit and he's just like appraising you all? He seems to be taking it all in, but he's not like giving anything away quite yet.
Mhm.
Which means someone clearly had to hire this individual.
That much would be evident. Now the question is, who would hire an assassin to take out the heir of a prominent house?
Do you have any ideas or inklings or thoughts?
We are still following up on the lead of the gentleman in question from earlier. Vander, I think his name was. But we can't seem to find him. So we can't bring him in for questioning.
We haven't heard anything that connects them to them. So
yeah, the only thing that we found was that he was there, like was at the party, but there nothing we followed has led us anywhere near him.
And being as the person knew so much about when and how to get to that individual, my guess is it's someone on the inside. Maybe a family member or a friend. Inside check. I can say this, by the way.
Okay. Roll an insight check.
Roll it. You gotta be better than me.
Not much better. Wait, where's my insight? Okay. 14.
14. Okay. So you see him kind of sit forward a little bit to try and take in all the information that you're saying. But it does seem to be coming as a little bit of a shock to him. Person on the inside, you say? Any theories on who it would be? I mean, need to start somewhere.
I say go for it.
Well, we did find, and I kind of pull out of my little side pouch. We did find this.
He reaches over and takes out your hand, opens it up. He's reading it all and his eyes are kind of going a little bit wide as he's reading it and he sees the bottom part. That's not right. And he pulls over a letter to the side. And he's like kind of matching them up together, like looking at them side by side like this. See, this L here doesn't match this L here. And he passes them over. And you see the letter that you passed over to him. But then you also see a letter on the side that is also under the house name of Asta. And also has Ilceris Asta at the bottom of it.
Oh, it's a forgery. One of them is a forgery.
Wow.
So do you know for sure that the letter you have came...
She handed it to me herself.
Okay.
Not 2 days
But
ago.
either way, their letters are similar. They know how to sign. They don't necessarily know how to sign, but they know. So it's got to be someone that knows the ins and outs of this family.
Right.
Where was this house again? Maybe I should send someone to pick this person up when they return.
It's Quayside. It's over in Quayside. It says Paris above the door.
Okay. He's like making little notes down there on a piece of parchment that he's got. Is there anything else that you can tell me about this house or anything?
It was trapped. It was minimally furnished. But the traps didn't look... I think the traps were just to alert the person. I don't know. I don't know. We managed to avoid them, so I don't know what they would do if you set them off. But you might want to send somebody with some magical abilities or something to be aware that both... Well, the window we went through, I suppose, isn't trapped anymore. That one's disarmed, so...
Okay, good to know, good to know. Well, this has been very insightful. Very helpful indeed. And he's like, he pulls over another sheet of paper and he starts looking through, and he's like just muttering under his breath, no, not them, not them.
Oh.
How would you like to see this through? Under the banner of the guard. Accompany me to this abode, and we bring this person in this evening when they return.
Yes, please. Yes. Yes, I want to. Yes, I want to. What's our other option?
You looked up at you all, seeing you all get extremely excited by this. It's like, these, you guys are weird, but okay.
Well, yeah.
Meet me.
Loves, but that's not the.
Meet me back here at sundown, and we'll head over. You can show me where this place is, and we'll look it out and bring them in.
Okay. Done.
I'll see you
We'll
then.
be here.
He keeps the letter, puts it in a box beside his desk, and you all leave. So where would you like to go? What would you like to do until sundown? It's probably about lunchtime just now, about 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Is there somewhere I can go to sell like the scimitar, crossbow, light armor that I found?
Yeah, you could probably head off towards a blacksmith's and leatherworks if it's leather armor.
You guys mind if I do that? Anyone else have anything?
No.
No,
Go with you. Maybe grab some street meat on the way.
Street meat.
Not street meat.
The mystery meat.
So
Okay.
heading back down towards the kind of temple area, which is just down from the castle, you do see that there is street meat vendors there. It's more like kind of kebab style ones, and it's instead of like being hot dog style ones on that day. There's also kind of like the kind of fruit vendors there as well, for anyone who would like to pick up some fruit.
Yes. Purchase a couple kebabs.
Nice.
Because looking delicious, and now I want.
And then you'll head off towards, let me see, the name of a tavern.
Buy a new lockpick.
So, there's a couple different blacksmiths. Make an investigation check for me.
Everyone, no.
Whoever wants to make one to find a blacksmith.
Okay. Investigation. Check.
22.
That would be a 22 as well.
So, asking around, you do ask just a few questions there just to kind of see where the blacksmiths would be. They tell you there's one just across the water called Tona's. And there is also a couple of other ones, one called Forged in Flame and one called Hammer and Tongs.
When
One of
we're
them-
asking questions, I would have asked which one is the best one to like
Okay.
barter with.
For bartering, probably Tona's.
Who asks gives the best deals.
You see someone just standing outside the temple, you ask them, they just say, well, Tona's probably the best for that. She's just 5 minutes across the water.
Alright. Let's go.
Heading over, you find your way outside of quite a large building for this site. It is all wood on the outside, but the front of it is completely open. So there's no walls on the front of it as if it's all been removed, it's just the sides and the back. And there's a large hole in the ceiling. You just see there's a counter area. There's a lot of heavy banging coming from the back.
Sorry, not loudly. Hello?
From the back of the room you hear the noise all stop, and to the front comes a large orc female with her hair tied back in a very tight ponytail. She's got big goggles over her eyes and like a mask over her mouth and nose. Got a big massive leather tunic on, as well as big massive black gloves going up her arms.
Nice.
I like shrink a little. Like, hello?
He pulls a mask down. and you kind of hear like a sort of squeaky voice. Yes.
Mm.
I was just wondering if I could unload some of the things I found here and get some cash for it.
When you say found, what do you mean there, dearie?
What?
When you say found, what do you mean there, dearie?
I have the scimitar, and I have a crossbow, and I have this armor.
Pulls the gloves off and picks them up one by one and looks at them. Well, for the scimitar, needs a little bit of work to clean it up. Could probably give you 10 gold for that one.
Okay.
You said a short bow as well?
Crossbow.
Crossbow, okay.
It was in good condition. The good condition one.
Pulls it up, looks at it. This one here is pretty good. A little bit of oil and it'll be a little bit better. Give you 20 for that one? 20 gold? Was there
And then light leather armor.
light leather armor? Okay, so armor, let's see. She kind of picks it up and starts inspecting it all over. Okay, for this one it was it's a 0 armor, so I can give you 15 for this one. It's in pretty good
I was
shape.
just wondering,
15 gold.
as I'm bringing you all these things, could there be like maybe just an overall group rate for all three?
Yeah, please.
10, 20, 15, so 45. Well, for all three, I mean, I do have to do some work and sell them on. Give you 50 gold for all three.
55.
Do have to sell them on and fix them up, so if you don't want the 50, it'll be 45.
50's good. Do you sell lockpicks by any chance?
I do. And she goes off over towards the side, pulls up a few, like a box that's kind of underneath the counter, pulls out a few kind of wrapped items. We've got full sets here of thieves' tools.
How much?
For that, it will be. Let me see. I do have prices here. For that one, it'll be 5 gold. So I could give you this and take the armor, and it'll be 45.
Okay.
Hands it over and pulls the armor and the weapons back and puts them underneath on a shelf.
Cool. Thank you. You have a lovely shop. And then I just leave.
Business is always welcome at Tona's. She like pulls the mask back up, puts the gloves back on, gives a short nod to the rest of you, and heads off. Picks up a big massive hammer on the side and goes back over towards where she was working. Anything?
All right.
Anything
Anybody else
else?
want to do anything?
Do we need to make sure our cart is like? Do we need to travel anywhere for like this at all, or is this all in the city? Like this bit of the thing that we have to do?
I think we're just gotta wait until dusk.
Dusk. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure that our like horse and cart and everything has been like still secure and isn't like being like torn apart because of the weather or any wear and tear. Need to make sure it's all like in working condition.
Okay.
I mean, we left it somewhere to be to be watched out for,
Yeah.
right? Like we left
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Some
still
kind
at
of
the
professional
stables.
place or another.
I would hope it would be still good.
I hope that we hadn't left it just somewhere out in the wilds.
Yeah, true. We didn't leave any like materials or any like weapons on or anything.
No.
No, we took everything. Right, since they left everything. I think we just need to, make sure all our weapons are working and are in good condition. So, don't know if we need to go to a blacksmith or anything.
We could head down to, and now that we have more information about Paris, we
Mhm.
know she's a hit woman, assassin, individual. We could ask some questions to
Yep.
see if anyone knows anything about her
Mhm.
or go against her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or about the smoke blade.
Mhm.
Wait, what?
The smoke blade. That's who
Right.
the suspect was called in the other assassination.
Mm.
I mean, that river seems like you tell us where to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so asking a few questions around. Who wants to make an investigation check?
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll give you advantage. I will help.
Okay.
That is an 18.
An 18, okay. So asking around, some people kind of whisper the name Smokeblade back to you, and they're like, not heard that name before. It's a bit of a strange name. Is it a nickname? And you kind of hear that kind of stuff. You do hear one person, when you ask them, they say, isn't that the one that was with the banker? Killed the banker back in the capital a few months ago? That one was nasty. Wait, why are you asking about them? But you don't really get too much information about
Okay.
about Smokeblade.
Oh. Right.
Well, I think we would also be asking about the name Paris. Like, we would be asking about that.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay. Ask about Paris, heading back over towards where Paris's house was. The people that are around about do tell you that she kind of keeps herself to herself. You don't see her too much, but they do see her like a couple times a day. There's some people that go in and out to get their hair done, but she kind of just keeps herself to herself.
Okay.
Guess we just wait.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
a long rest kind of scenario.
Well, it'd be a short rest because it's just until dusk. So
Yeah, it's not rest.
short rest.
Yeah, you've got about maybe 5 hours till
Yeah.
the sun starts, 5-6 hours till the sun goes down.
So I'll read more of my book, by the way, then during that time.
I will habitually make sure my sword is sharp.
So you all do you head back to Singing Dragon to retake your rooms, or just kind of out in the park doing this, or?
I mean, I can sharpen my sword anywhere. I don't care.
I can read anywhere.
Probably best to go to the hotel or bar or wherever, tavern. But it's just for extra security, just to
Okay.
rest up. Probably.
So heading back to the Singing Dragon, take some time to make sure that your weapons are ready for the potential encounter ahead. Take some time to read and take some time to yourselves. Like if you decide to lie down and close the curtains over and just lie in the darkness for a little bit, just to kind of stave off any like remaining headache or anything like that. But if you need it, short rest has now been taken.
Cool.
What are you gonna
And
do? What were you gonna do?
Oh, I was just gonna take out my alms box and I was gonna just chill and light some incense and yeah.
it's meditation.
See if we can do any alms.
Right. Collect some coin for my god. This.
God, this.
I'm gonna go to my room and just make sure I've got like everything that I need for the next day, like all ready.
Okay.
Making sure I've got like things that I've not like checked, like making sure my sword's sharp and
Yeah.
just organising everything that I need for the next day.
Okay.
I would have.
So you take some time there, make sure that you've got everything ready before you all head out later to meet Chief Guardsman Tamal for your evening ahead, and that's where we'll finish for this one.
Cool.
20 hours left on my book.
Okay. I'll make a note of that. 20 hours left, and that's the long book, isn't it? Like
That's the
second book?
Arcana, yeah. Arcana.
Yeah.
There's Arcana.
Cool. Perfect. And that's where we're done for just now.
La.
And then maybe
See you in
we
2
can
weeks'
fight next week.
time.
Wait.
I know, I can't wait for this fight.